you say when you tune in?
That ain't gonna help you. Welcome to the Mayor Joe Taylor Show. Jeff Underwood, Gerald White. What's up, man?
You know, anytime we get to hang out with the greatest mayor of the greatest city in the greatest nation on earth, it's a privilege.
Yes.
He ain't seen you in a while, so he's sucking up.
Yeah,
Really bad.
He's got a lot to make up.
Yes, he does.
You know, I had a bad day.
You have no idea.
I had a bad day.
A lot of penance is on his side.
Yeah, there's a lot of payback.
But it was true. It was truly. My wife said, "You're an idiot,"
Yeah,
because she gets mad at me all the time.
Yeah.
Right
Well,
for.
I mean, wouldn't you?
that's fair.
Because I just like stuff on Facebook. Oh, this so something like it. So I like this post
Yeah.
that you had talked about it. So I like this post
Dude's
that
trashing me all
was just dogging Joe Taylor.
I have yet to see the post. He told me about it yesterday.
I mean,
Yeah,
really
but
would be.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And dogging him, man.
Yeah.
But the first part of the post, like where you could see,
Yeah.
it was like a simple
There's nothing to it.
for
Yeah.
this vote for this person.
I
Right?
see.
Then you click on the see more,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
what in the hell did I just do?
Oh, no.
Really?
Oh,
And I didn't
no.
know that Joe said.
Yeah.
it. You read that post?
I said, somebody said that you just like to post. And he went, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes back and he went, my hands up. What,
Hands up accountability.
Hands up accountability. I was dying.
He bobbed us sports.
I did. I didn't know it.
My
man.
bad.
Then I was mad
Oh,
because
no.
yeah, I got a little upset about it because it was uncalled for. I mean,
I wanna
the
read the
thing was
post.
It
uncalled.
didn't have anything to do with me. I mean, I didn't understand, why attack me. And look, I get it. I'm a big boy. I don't, stuff like that doesn't get to me. It gets to Rachel. Now, Rachel will come kill you.
You darn
But,
right.
no, I just thought it was kind of funny because one of the things that they said was that, Joe Taylor's afraid of this person. Well, I'll just go ahead and say this to the
Oh, my
world.
gosh.
I was born without that chip.
Yeah.
I don't,
Slow down and clarify.
I'm
Except for Rachel.
I'm not afraid of people for some reason, and I don't know. I calm down when things start like falling apart.
Yeah.
It's just a natural thing for me that if the building's on fire, my blood pressure drops. It doesn't go up, and
Yeah.
that could be that I'm psychotic. I don't know, but
I read a book about that.
I don't take any pills or anything.
Yeah,
Drink Diet Coke.
Yeah,
So-
I drink Diet Coke. That
I
calms me down.
Again, so that's been my last couple of days.
Yeah.
Freaking
Yeah.
tired. So
Yeah, I get this text last night, and he goes, "Man, I think I've hurt our friend." And I said, "What are you
no.
talking about?"
I didn't say anything about his feet.
He did say that. He said,
Yeah.
"I think I heard our friend."
Yeah.
And I said, "What are you talking about?" He told me, and I went, "Oh, I need to see this post." Well, he sends me a screenshot of it.
Yeah, I
but
seen
it-
the
but it-
screenshot
it
of what
didn't-
I
It didn't have all the.
No,
of what I
there's
saw.
some meat in it.
Yeah.
No, you gotta hit the click to see
Yeah.
more, and when you see more, you're like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah.
So I
Well, I
apologize.
think I sent back a text to Jerry, and I said, I don't have but one feeling left, and I'm saving it for something.
He did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And this is not it. I've seen emergencies. This is not one.
yeah,
of them.
well, it was
That's
for
awesome.
me, man. Because in my friend circle, I keep that very tight.
Yeah.
But I'm very loyal
Yeah.
to my friends,
Yeah,
and I was very disappointed in that post.
Yeah.
Were you disappointed in yourself?
Well, I ain't never gonna read most of that crap anyway. But had I read it, I would have probably made a comment that, and this would be a whole different show. Too.
Yeah.
But
This one
anyway.
had saw blades on it. I mean, it was rough.
Yeah, they
I
would
wish,
have
you
to.
would've- I wish you would have read it then.
There was,
I really
there was
like
some other posts that same day that I can't remember where I was. I was somewhere where I took the call, and I was in a crowd of people, and when I took the call, it was my fire chief. Oh, I was at the Westbrook Piedmont.
Heck yeah.
And I'd just gotten called down by my police chief for being a little bit too animated and vocal towards some officials that blew a call. But
Speaking of Auburn.
yeah, no
Okay.
kidding. And when I answered the phone, he said, "Hey," he said, "your firemen are taking up for you." And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he said, "No," he said, "Man, they're going to bat for you." And it was where somebody again had said, Joe Taylor's afraid of whatever. And they were like, "Well, you obviously," one of them said, "I rode a fire truck with him for 15 years, and he's a lot of things, but afraid's not one of them." And I'm not saying I'm not fearful of things. I don't want to get hit by a car or anything again. But I
You've
survived
already
the
been
first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You
maybe
want to see what it felt like.
That's right.
Yeah, well, you know how he is. He's a daredevil.
So, what is going on in the great city of Rainbow City?
Man, so much.
I got a great question that
Okay.
someone posed to me. I'm
Okay.
going to throw it out at you.
All right.
what is it? They asked me, hey, what is it that makes Rainbow City so appealing to people? This person knows that I'm a Tyler, right? I grew up in Tyler. I love the Tyler State, but lived in Rainbow City for a long time. My answer was, it's way more than one thing. It's not just one thing. But asking the mayor, what is
I think it's the same answer that you get if you were go buy a house. It's location, location, location. I'm not trying to say that Rainbow City's overly stimulated. I don't think it's incredibly. I think it's incredibly special, but it's not on the surface incredibly special.
Yeah.
But where we're located puts it. We are so convenient to everyone else, and that's why. You know, like if you look at the investment that the city's making right now in ball fields and recreation centers and all of these things, education, it's because we're not even far away from Birmingham anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think it's more location probably than anything. I do think that Rainbow City has a different temperament than other places. You know. It used to always be said if you want a member of this family or that family or whatever, you couldn't live in certain cities in this county, and that there's still some of those cities that it's true.
Sure.
I mean, there's no
Speaking
doubt
of
about
I'll do a show.
You better leave that bunch alone now.
He just saw
I
he
love
saw him pop
Yeah,
up on
Scott.
the screen.
I actually spoke about Scott this morning to Rachel and I were talking. And I said if South or if Hoax Bluff was 15,000 people, there would be no doubt that Scott Reeves would be the greatest mayor in the South. And I believe that because he literally eats Hoax Bluff up.
He does.
I mean, he is such a good, caring mayor. And I say that being a mayor of a city that's growing, leaps and bounds, but he never forgets the little things of calling and saying, do you need something? Is everything okay? Can you help me with this? Can I help you with that? Scott Reeves is different. He's wired different.
I get all my sports scores from him.
Yeah.
Every sport that Hoax Bluff plays, be it a golf match, a girls, whatever.
You better know.
He posted.
And he's standing
win or lose, every score is there. So I don't even go to CapalSports44.com for that score.
Yeah, you don't have
Just look at Scott.
Scott Reeves
I think
can get it done.
When you take integrity that you live in your everyday life and then you carry it over and live it in politics, I think that's him.
It is.
It
is. Scott's the same guy all the time.
Yeah.
I love to see him at the League of Municipalities where it's a sport coat convention, and whoever's got the most colorful sports coat's the best mayor. And Scott shows up down there and he's got his Hoax Bluff green vest on or his ball cap or whatever. He's just that guy, and everybody in this state knows who Scott Reeves is. He sits on boards. He does all the things right that you're supposed to do as an elected official, and yet he'll say, "I'm just from little old Hoax Bluff." But that's a growing little town.
I remember somebody telling me that he stopped in and helped them sheetrock a house. An elderly couple that really were having issues.
Yeah, Scott's that guy. I mean, I've been out there to see him before, and they said, "Oh, he's out cutting ball fields. You'll have to come back." And he's out there cutting ball fields. I mean, he's just a good guy. He's solid.
People are lighting up the comments here, Mr. Mayor.
Be careful.
Well, I do have to say this one commenting on your head.
Oh, Sam Purvis.
Yeah, he says, if I had a head like that, I hope it. What did he say?
He says, I hope when I lose all my hair, my head's that shiny.
Yeah.
That thing shines now. I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
I love it.
When I first started
funny.
balding, I was going to First Baptist Church and they had a TV ministry and Bob Guyton, y'all know Bob. Bob zooms in and he's on an off camera. He's not on the active camera. He's on off camera and he says to one of the other guys, he said, "Who's the guy wearing the yarmulke?" And it was that male pattern baldness back here, and they said, "Man, that's Joe Taylor. That's his bald spot."
So funny. That should be on your election sign.
Yeah, because I lost my hair in literally in 6 months when I was 28, 29 years old, and I'd like to now say that didn't bother me. It bothered me. I was looking in that mirror like, boy, this is not going my way.
Well, Nicole Wills says that's a good-looking guy right there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Nicole's my buddy.
She
and
ain't
I
talking about
never
you.
met Nicole, but I'm
know.
telling you from the very beginning, from Jump Street.
She's got your back.
I love that girl. She's great.
Brad Davis says,
She's
"Good morning,
funny.
Mayor."
Oh, he threw a question up to the people want to know, Joe.
Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead, hit that up.
He says, when is Wingstop stop opening? People want to know.
Oh wow! Now Wingstop, it's another one of those things where everybody believes that we can just go out there and name who comes to town and that kind of thing. All that's just really a lot of negotiating, a lot of hopeful stuff that we have. We've got certain name brands that we do chase, and we're chasing them hard. But Wingstop came into the building and just basically just kept it absolutely on the down low. And said, we're going into this area, we'd rather you guys not talk about it. And when they tell us that means we're not going to talk about
Sure.
it. Because I can tell you when people found out about Wingstop, you found out somehow
I did.
early on
I did.
and popped me a text, and I about halfway danced around it because I thought,
Dude.
is it out? Do we know? And but when they put that signage up,
Yeah.
and
It was-
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it went crazy. Josh Ross sent
Jarvis.
me, Jarvis sent me a thing. Said, "Dude, y'all getting Wingstop?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "And Jarvis, this is one of the things that's going to make Joe Taylor happy.
Oh,
I love Wingstop.
It's quick, and
Yes.
it's always the same.
Always
Do they have
good and
lemon
the
pepper?
best
Yes.
ranch.
Yes. You haven't had
Their
Wingstop?
lemon
Never had
pepper is
Wingstop.
great.
Man,
I mean,
and they make homemade ranch.
And their ranch is good, and
It is.
they'll let you buy a ranch as big as that cup.
I tell you, and I hate to brag on this person, I really do.
Okay.
I'm talking about Jason Dodd. He makes the best homemade ranch I've ever had.
Is that right?
Really?
Stupid good. It's a
Chef Dodd.
yeah, man. I don't know
Chef
how
Dodd.
he
I
does
have to
it.
try it.
I don't know how. I'll bring you some. Like he makes it for me. I take it home.
Do you think he wears that orange chef coat to bed?
I think you would have to.
I
He
mean,
programs his
is it-
phone. Wake up, chef.
Yes.
Wake
Oh,
up, Chef Dodd.
yes.
Now
Wake
quit
up,
all
chef.
that. See, I think he just dropped down 3 points. But I'm gonna tell you something. That dude can cook.
Yeah, good. I want him to wear a Pasquale hat.
Yeah, the
Pasquale
hat. Yeah, he deserves that.
His head's too big.
Is it?
I think truck top.
Lately it is. That
Oh,
could be-
That
That's
may
it.
be
That's what it
that's
is.
hurting.
That's why.
He's vertically challenged inside his truck.
No, hey, fair point. I am a all blue cheese wing guy. 100%.
No way.
100%.
Yeah, Brad said if he's
No, you're right.
If you use ranch instead of blue cheese,
You're wrong. No, that's a
Just
fact.
saying.
Now, come on,
Wings
man.
were meant to be with blue cheese.
I was with Brad.
You're right,
all the way,
100%.
and He just fell apart.
No, 100% he's right.
I just don't like blue cheese.
I
But
can't-
I,
I
but
can't
I don't
good
like
blue cheese,
feta,
though?
I don't. But I think I just can't get past the smell.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
it.
the stinky shit. You're out on the
It's a-
stinky
yeah.
shit.
But you like feta, don't you?
No, he
I
said
don't.
he
You
like
don't
feta.
like feta?
No, I
Oh.
don't. And when people will say, "Oh, this has got feta on it," and I'm like, "Good grief,
I
y'all."
like feta. I like it when it's
Little
cooked-
crumble.
Yeah,
Do
I like
you
it
on a little
I like it a little
salad?
more. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
See, my problem is just
I don't like
that,
blue cheese, though.
it smells like dirty feet. I can't do that.
How many,
people
how many
pay for
dirty
that,
feet
though.
you smell?
Yeah. Like I say, I've been in enough locker rooms. No, that ain't.
Oh,
that ain't what I got.
that's the best smell. That's the best smell. Good Lord, what else you got? These people crack me up. You got the greatest. Some of the stuff we can't read, but
Yeah.
Oh,
I've got a lot of people. I don't know if they love me or hate
you
me.
got.
Oh, it's love. I
Well,
tell you.
hey, let's just talk sport. You're a sports guy.
Okay.
Let's talk about Auburn for just a little bit.
Ugh.
Oh, the big pearl. No.
Yeah, that was.
It was a shocker.
It was.
And I will say this. I knew it a couple of days ago. Just I was in D.C. Around coach.
Always working.
And you're going to hear things, and of course, the thing that you were hearing then was that he was going to run for Senate.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he cleared that up. I don't know if y'all watched his video.
Yeah.
His video was impactful.
Yeah.
I thought it was probably the.
Use the word that he said. That he used the word. He said today if somebody uses the word impactful, that's the word.
I was
You used it.
I was
Oh, wow.
I was talking
How
about
about that?
a guest for tomorrow. I said if they use this particular word,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand up and flip the table over.
Okay. Oh wow.
That's
But not on you.
Okay, I got
That's
you.
good. Go ahead.
But no, I think in his video he just laid out what I love, and that's for somebody to know when to leave. The worst thing you can do is stay too long.
Wow.
And nobody loves, and I am not. Don't ever believe that I'm an Alabama fan. I'm not.
You can't.
I'm an Auburn fan.
Sure.
But the greatest coach ever was Nick Saban. Period.
Any
And
sport,
and Nick Saban stayed a touch too long. Please don't roast me because
It's fine.
if you roast me, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Because he stayed a little too long. And I think a great coach would believe he could turn NIL around and he could spin it on its ear. You can't do it. NIL's here. It has an impact that's absolutely uncanny. It's unbelievable. And we're not the state that has enough billionaires yet. To make
Yellowwood.
I mean,
that. Yep, got that guy.
I mean,
And that dude's got more money than Carter's got pills. I mean,
that's a fact.
unreal.
Yeah, and if you just look at the state of Clemson right now, Dabo
They're
is
just
not,
falling
he
apart.
doesn't get in the transfer portal very much. He doesn't big on NIL,
Yeah.
and they're losing.
Yes, it's what, and we discussed this years ago, that NIL, if you've got the support base, it will absolutely, it'll buy you a team.
Yeah.
And we know that now.
Sure.
And the same things are going to move out, towards high school, and I don't like NIL. We talked about that. And you do.
I do. Mhm.
And now I'm starting to kind of move over a little bit. I'll admit when I'm wrong.
I saved you
And
a seat, Joe.
I think you did, but I'm in the nosebleed right now because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to get close to it, but I do believe that it's going to change high school football and high school schools. Where they're located, what their size is, what their ability to educate kids is going to come out of NIL.
They're gonna have to get out of some certain name organization though before that happens.
Well, if you are interested in NIL, just reach out to Long and Associates
That's
in
right.
Gunnersville.
That's true. So do you think that? So you guys think that's why we're seeing the rise of teams like Oklahoma and LSU? That some
All
of these.
money.
But
You-
they're,
how-
but
what
they're
type-
perennial good teams.
But what
though.
type of person fits into that mold to coach a team in this atmosphere that we're in? Who
It's
fits
no
that
different
mold?
than an NFL coach.
Yeah,
I think it is too.
Yeah.
I think you're exactly right.
gotta have
I think
that type
it's
of guy.
just
Yeah.
become a money person that can pull together.
or a GM.
Yeah, a GM. You become
Well, they
that
have them now,
GM look.
Every college has a GM.
Yeah.
Really?
Which they didn't back in the day. That wasn't a thing.
But I think that a coach is way less coach now than he's ever been. I think now they're an organizer, they're a fundraiser,
CEO.
and they're a CEO. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. And that's the part that I'm having to kind of change over
So
to.
we're going to talk about on the Alabama Auburn show we're doing tomorrow. We're going to talk about the big play.
Yeah.
Some Auburn people are out of their minds upset about it. The fact is that the Oklahoma coaching staff, every college game, most people I guess don't know this, but every college game, the officials meet with both teams. Hey, any questions? They ran this play past the officials. And they gave them the go-ahead to run this play. You're not breaking the rule because you did not actually substitute anyone. You had a player walk over like he was talking to a
Right.
coach. He asked the umpire, I'm set, I'm on the line, or off I guess he was on the line of scrimmage. They ran the play slow. It was a legal play. The association, I said the high school association, anything I think like that, I think
Sure.
bad decision. I think high school association.
Fair point.
Went to the NCAA, put out a memo that, well, we missed the call. So I'm torn.
Yeah.
I'm torn. The officials told them they could run the play. They didn't substitute anybody out. There was nothing lost. They're talking about the spirit of the rule.
Right.
I think it was a slap in Auburn's face that they even come out with that statement.
Yeah, I don't think they should ever contradict themselves. Especially their own officials. I always heard, and I called a lot of ball, and fair, foul, out, safe, ball, strike. Those were mine. You didn't get to take those away from me.
Yeah.
If you did, you just need to send me home. And and I remember Larry Foster. Loved Larry. Now I can say this: Larry threw me out twice and didn't scratch me, which was rare for Larry. Because he would when he sent you home, you never came back, and it was all over the fair, foul, out, safe, ball, strike, and because he understood that I was going to stand where I was and I didn't flinch, which most people did for Larry Foster. I was young and dumb, probably.
You didn't know.
and I just didn't give a rip, and he didn't either.
Yeah.
And so he'd take me out of the opportunity. I think I threw him out, and of course he would make sure I didn't come back for a minute.
Yeah.
Which meant he threw me out, and then when I'd go back, he'd say, you feeling better? And he would always, and he always had these one-liners, and he would always come out and he would tilt his head And buddy, I'm telling you, he would tell you things about yourself you never knew, that your mom and daddy never told you. And but I always appreciated that. And so why contradict the people that are out there that you sent out to enforce the rules? Now, at the end of the day, mine was the pass interference.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm sorry, that
Two
was,
of them.
Yeah, that
You talk about Cam
that
Coleman
was
in the end
assault.
zone.
The one, in the corner to
Yeah.
the end zone. That was assault.
Agreed.
And you know, but how do you fix that without putting in another automatic review?
Yeah.
And automatic, you know, and so now we're going to extend the game even longer than it already is. I don't go now because it's 4.5 hours.
When that picture, the official is way out of position.
Yes.
I don't even blame that official, but you got to have help.
Right.
And
Yeah,
there was-
those guys have to roll. They're taught to do that.
Yeah.
You're taught to be in position no matter what. Even if you blow a call, if you're in position,
Yeah.
you're actually 90% of the time going to be forgiven by the sideline.
I wish Coach Short was on today.
He was on there just a minute ago.
Was he
said-
really?
He said dry lemon pepper is his thing.
I love dry lemon pepper. Yeah, and Wingstop's got a killer one.
That's my favorite. I don't like
Jefferson's I finally got him to do the double dip lemon pepper.
Yeah.
Good.
It's next level though.
Really?
Yeah. It's
You know,
really
Jefferson's is coming back. Just found out yesterday. They're coming back with their maybe it's Thursdays, their wing day.
Oh.
Where it's the 10 for $10.
Oh.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Hey, did you see where Percy is going to East Gadsden on Saturdays and doing racks of ribs for game day special?
Is he really?
Man.
Yeah, person cook.
Man, Purse next level. What about his son being a federal firefighter?
Yeah, what about that?
That's
Oh,
awesome.
Nana. They call him Nana.
Yeah.
No.
No.
They don't call him that. He called me Demetrius. What's his name? What's his real name? You forgot it.
I've known him for my whole his whole life.
Dante.
He had a stroke.
Yeah, what's his name?
Something just happened.
Davis.
We gotta call him
Davis
a-
Davis.
we
What's his
gotta
name?
have a
Tell
glitch.
me. He
Jeff had a glitch.
Percy, my bad. No.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No, was an athlete, man.
I tried to say I got hung up on it in one of the games we were calling, and we were trying to call him by his real name, and I got hung up, and Jerry just left me out there.
He let you hang.
Yeah, oh man, he let me just.
It's Montavious.
Montavious, not
Yeah,
Dontavious. Montavious,
yeah.
yeah. Boy, he let me hang.
But I brought that up for this. That's a whole next level of firefighting. Talk about what
It
is
is.
federal firefighting.
Well, federal firefighters, one thing is they work this crazy schedule. They work 24 on, off 24. So they're either leaving the fire station or coming back all the time, unless it's changed. Now, of course, I've been out of the game for 7, 8, 9 years, but they're doing different things. You know, mainly because they protect military posts. You know, the federal buildings. You know, and they're just a different grouping of firefighters. But I'm not going to say it's a tougher job because fire all burns about the same, temperature, so it's all horrible.
Sure.
Because you hear people say, well, I know so and so, he worked in New York. Well, New York fire is not any hotter than Alabama fire.
Just a higher.
And you don't have 100 degree or 100% humidity in New York, ever. But
He's in Virginia.
in Virginia,
Yeah, that's where he is.
I think it's
He's
a
training there.
little
Yeah.
tougher to
Yeah.
get on a federal firefighting job, and it can put you almost in that military kind of lifestyle of you can move to promote, and there's just a lot of opportunity in federal firefighting. But I kind of see firefighting as you take all firefighters, put them in a bag, shake them up, roll them out, and they can go to any firehouse and take up residence and do good work
And some of those,
if they're good.
some of those federal firefighters, don't they drop them into certain fires with?
Yeah,
like, in the middle of
that's
certain-
the ones that work for the forestry service.
Forestry service, okay.
And those are smoke jumpers, and
Yeah,
those
that's what
guys,
it is, yeah.
those guys are tough.
I think that's what he's trying, doing some training
I've
with that.
no
Yeah,
idea.
I trained some as jump masters, and we would carry them up, teach them how to spot drop zones, how to find, deal with the wind from aloft, and deal with heights above because we dealt in you had AGL and MSL, mean sea level and above ground level, and you would always have to make sure that the pilots they fly. This is too much, but
I'm into it. No, I know nothing about it.
They fly AGL, and and some of the stuff that you're calculating is MSL, which is mean sea level, and so there can be hundreds of feet difference, and if you don't have that pilot flying you the height that you need, you can put somebody out way too low, especially at night. And we made 90% of our jumps were done at night, you know. And,
Like I said,
and a
Joe's
lot of,
really nerding out.
yeah, I'm nerding out. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, y'all.
That's awesome.
There are times when I'll flip back into, you know, into those large.
Your passion came out right
Yeah,
there.
it did. Yeah, that was one thing I tell people all the time. There's only been a couple of things I was really good at. I think being a dad was one of those, and I was a good soldier.
Okay. Jamie Grant, County Commissioner Jamie Grant says, San Angelo, Texas for training. Some of those guys go through some insane classes.
Yes.
How's everything with Jamie Grant?
Jamie Grant's good, man. I saw that dude Sunday. He he's
At
doing
the
good.
Holy Spirit
Yep.
of Meadowbrook Coffee Baptist
That's
Church.
right. Yeah, I think he had a coffee in his hand.
Sure,
There's no question.
Sure. Absolutely. We miss Jamie Grant.
We do,
man. We
man.
do. We miss you, buddy.
Yeah. When did Jamie ever show up?
Well, he's busy. He's
Man,
like
that
you. He's
dude
all over the
is-
world. We had to pin you down.
Yeah.
Actually, I had to post a commercial, a promo spot, so you would actually show up.
Yeah. Is he coming back?
You have to stop by and go see the guys.
No, I did a little whirlwind tour. I went to
Yeah.
California for a week. Got to be a +1 with Rachel, and
That felt good, didn't it?
Oh man, it feels good. I
You're
mean, it
arm
feels
candy,
good
buddy.
when I'm just arm candy.
That's it.
I'm an accessory,
Tough job.
and
Trophy husbands are hard to come by
yeah,
here.
but I do it well.
You darn right.
And so spent some time out in San Diego. Got to do some really cool things, see some people, and got to spend September 11th with my nephew, who was a sailor on the USS Carl Vinson, and stood on the spot on September 11th where they unloaded Bin Laden's dead body.
You said that.
And that
You
was
said
a
that proudly, by the way.
A very proud moment for me. And they've got it painted red, the color of blood, thank God. And it let me know that there's still a whole force of people out there that protect our freedom, and they're young and they're goofy and they're everything that I was when I was doing the same thing years and years
Good
ago.
comment. You want to read this comment by Wiley Quarles?
Wiley says 3 really great guys. I never got to work with Joe, but I've heard nothing but great stories about him. Anyone you ask around Gadsden Fire will tell you he was one of the best to ever put the turnouts on.
Well, I appreciate that. I worked at it.
Wiley.
Wiley showing up for me there.
Yeah,
I
Wiley's
appreciate
good
that.
too.
No, yeah, I knew that right after I left was when Wiley and them came on, and there was a pretty big grouping of those guys that came on, and you know, I remember telling some of those guys. I went to the rookie school graduation, I believe it was, it may have been Wiley's. We had some guys from going through in Rainbow City, and I remember telling them, you know, it's okay to be old school in firefighting. You know, it's okay to be a tough guy, and it's okay to have a heart and care about people. But you know, the only 2 rules I ever had on my fire truck was that, you know, we protected people's dignity and we brought calm to chaos. You know, it was our job when everybody else was freaking out to not freak out.
It's kind of what you do as mayor.
It is. It's the same situation. It's just, I think it's leadership at a very rudimentary position. You know, it needs to be very basic. You know, my people come in and you know, they believe they've got an emergency, and you know, it takes a minute to tell them, you know, I've seen an emergency. This is not one of them. Let's just sort through that. But I think more than anything is being able to hand it back to the drivers and firefighters. When I was on the fire truck, you know, I left the military and went directly into firefighting. And so I took what we had in leadership and moved it towards that. And that was, you know, keep a haircut, you know, make your uniform look good, be proud of your profession. And I think, you know, courage, candor, and commitment. You know, be brutally honest even when you don't need to be brutally honest. And there are times when it's a lot easier just to tell a lie than it is to tell someone this is not going our way. You know, I remember having to tell Chief Carroll, we had a big fire at the sports page, and that day I had to come in.
Sports page,
Yeah, sports page, huge fire, looked like we were going to burn all of downtown Gadsden up. And I remember walking by, and he said, are you going to stop that fire? And I was in one building, and we had people on the roof. We had people everywhere. And I said, it's not going to happen in that building. And he said, let's give it up. And, you know, and telling him the truth for him to be able to reposition us to be able to stop that fire, and him being able to hear that. And Steve Carroll, that was one thing about him, is he wasn't just waiting to talk. He was listening to you. And, you know, and he could be very stern at times. We lost a guy one time inside a mattress store, Parnell's Mattress downtown, and the guy crawled off in the wrong direction, and I was in there trying to get a head count and I knew I had a guy missing. I knew it, and Vance Brown was on the end of a hose line, and I was evacuating, counting people out, and I was one short. Asked Tim Keener, I said, what count do you have? And he tells me, he said, we got everybody. And me and him had a little tough argument there, and I said, count them again. And he comes back to the door. I'm still inside a burning building, and we were having some collapse issues and things. And I remember Tim saying, we're one short. And luckily that guy got to crawl through a wall out the other side to Bob Cross, and Bob Cross made accountability for him. And when I came outside, I turned into an old Army man, and I went over there and squared him away. You stay with who you're with. I don't care how good you think you are at this job. Firefighters die alone.
Yeah.
And so never be alone. At least die with your buddy.
Freaking Bob Cross.
Yep. He's a good one, man.
Well, you named some names right there.
Yeah,
I'm all
telling you.
legends. Good. Yeah.
There's some good
Michael
ones.
Phelps.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just throwing it out there.
He's a legend in the making.
He's a legend in his own mind.
He's sure.
Always has been. Always has been
He's a
since
great
second
guy.
grade.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
How about that?
Yeah, I think that's the thing about firefighting, and being able to roll out of the military into firefighting, directly out of that into government. It's all the same principle. It's
Someone
take care
said
of
the books back there at Sports Page is the reason that place burned.
Ah,
I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee.
good event. It was funny
Always
because
came out on top.
I was in
Jerry may
there,
have been involved in that.
it was the middle of the night.
Oh no, I was winning.
Yeah. Smoke filled room, middle of the night. I'm in the Phil Street Jewelers,
Oh.
Larry Perkins Jewelry
Yeah.
Store. We had knocked the front windows out of it,
Larry
crawled in there,
Perkins.
and I was actually sitting there thinking, this is the first time Taylor's ever been in a building at night that they broke the windows in, and there's full of jewelry, and everybody's okay with it.
That's a lot like the Grant family.
Yeah.
There's a certain sect of Grant
There's a
families. That's
sector.
happened
Yeah,
before.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that's
So it's always good to know that I was welcome inside, and breaking people's windows out.
Do this if you will. You're all about bringing young people in and growing them. Give me a good young police and a good young fire in Rainbow City that you got your eye on. Like, hey, I think those two young bucks are doing it the right way, or young ladies are doing it the right way.
Well, I think the immediate names in the police department I call to. One's Mo Cappy. His name's Muhammad, but Mo is just
He was getting out
a
of trouble.
community
Oh, yeah.
server.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a servant, and Mo's the guy that when I first came into office was pushing a lady in a wheelchair, getting her into her car, and soaking wet. Just ruined his day, I'm sure, but made everybody's day around it.
wow.
Heck yeah.
I would say Alyssa Russell. Alyssa's our female police officer. She does incredible work. She's a community police officer as well, but she doesn't take much, and in their business, they all have to have a switch. And she comes from a military background. She's very fit,
Yeah.
really, really wears her uniform well, and is proud to be a police officer. So she does that really, really well. And she's a great ambassador for our police department. We have a guy, Brock Sanders, is a new police officer, came from another department, and was somehow able to wash that department off and put on the way we do things here, which is hard.
Oh,
that's
sure,
tough.
sure.
Everybody, when you come from something else, you bring a big part of something
That's
else
right.
with you. But here we ask them to kind of strip themselves down and take on the Rainbow City way of doing things. And Brock's done that very well. I'll see him patrolling. He never stops patrolling, and having that visible way, and he'll stop and help anyone do anything, to include just filling up, putting air in your tire. And that's our job. Our job is to be servants. If you move over to the fire department, our fire marshal Craig Hill. Craig's just that guy that'll love you, tell you the truth. He
I've
deals
known him
with a
a long
lot
time.
of code, and he tells a lot of people things they don't want to hear, but he knows how to say that to people and do it with kindness and understanding. That he puts himself in their position to help them understand where they are. We've got so many young ones. We've got Tim Keener. Tim Keener is one of our best firefighters. He had worked with me on my fire truck, and I never thought Tim would leave the city of Gadsden to come, but he came down a few years ago just a wonderful firefighter that has a heart for people. Man, Robert McCary, he's one of our assistant chiefs. Robert is a very, very young man to be to have attained the promotion to assistant chief. But
I met him at the market one day.
yes, his guys love him,
Yeah.
and they follow him wherever he goes. And I'll tell you this, he's tough, and he still has that old school way. He and I think we got hired into fire service at about the same time. Of course, I finished my career because I was older, and Robert just continued to move on, and he's our newest assistant chief.
Well, Wiley
Just does it right.
Wiley says Logan Johnson, Nick Young,
Oh, wow.
and Tucker on the firefighter side.
Yes.
He said he worked with two of those guys, and they're both really good at what they do.
They are good at what they do, and you know, and I think
Your standard's high when it comes to fire.
It
Let's be
is
honest.
now, yeah, and they know it. You know, like they know that I want a certain amount of effort out of my firefighters that I might not get out of anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't necessarily know their jobs, but I do know how to fight fire. And the other side of it is Parks and Recreation. You know, they know that I know how to cut some grass. And, you know, and I'm not going to be
Better be
fooled.
striped right.
Yeah, yeah. And I want my striping just right.
That's
now
right.
we've ended up going out and buying them, fields that have pre-laid stripes
I
on
mean-
them, which kind of segues into where we're going as a city. You know, if you look at the services that we're beginning to provide for our young kids growing up, I think it changes the way they kind of enter into the world. They know that somebody cares about them. If our baseball players and our soccer players and our softball folks don't know, after this city's spending $6.2 million on converting these fields so that we can give them a product that they don't play on every weekend, that they don't play on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday night. You know, we're looking out for our rec ball players, the ones that, we know travel ball it's a different world, and we love travel ball to come showing up in
They spend
Rainbow
money.
City, but they spend money.
Let's ask this,
Yeah.
because
But
we've had
I'll-
two people on the show in the last month that are running for office.
Okay.
That have made a statement to he and I. We looked at each other like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
They made the statement that sports and recreation don't bring money to the city. Speak to that.
Yeah, that's.
You remember?
Let me say
do.
that's wrong, and you probably hear me say it if you were in a meeting with my Parks and Recreation. but directly, no.
Mark this money.
Directly, you're not making money. Indirectly, it's probably. No, it's not probably. It is the number one economic development initiative that a city can have is Parks and Recreation. Now, you've got to be able to afford it. You can't go out on the limb a lot for Parks and Rec because it takes so long for you to recover
Sure,
your money.
sure.
Because you're recovering it, 30 cents on a tank of gas that's bought in your city, or 12 cents on a meal, or whatever it is. So it takes a long time coming back to you.
But if you have a hotel,
But if you got a hotel, you've got gas stations, you got food, you need sport, a place to go and buy, sports apparel, and which we need one. Somebody better pick up on a sporting goods store here in Rainbow City pretty doggone soon. And but yeah, like right now we're spending the greater part of our money in Parks and Recreation, and we know it'll return.
Yes.
I mean, we came into office and we were less than $10 million. This year we're going to exceed $21 million in revenue. Now, what have we done in that amount of time? We've made our city safe. We've surrounded it by cameras, and even had a comment on. I commented that Southside had turned into the safest, had made the list, safest city in the state of Alabama. That is a commentary to that city that we've enjoyed for so long. And a lady said, it was a fair statement, I thought Rainbow City used to be the number one safest city. Well, we did, until we became so proactive in using technology to fight crime. Now we're catching everybody else as criminals when they pass through our city. Now, we don't have a problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can tell you what we're doing. We're ridding these other cities of those problems. Some of those criminals are coming out of Southside into Rainbow City. We're catching them on flock camera. Southside's doing the same thing for us. I'm not saying that we're the bastion of hope for Etowah County. even though we are.
I think so.
And I'm not saying that we're other cities' big brother. At times we are. If you look at total, there's three areas that you have to look at in government. You got to look at the revenue, you got to look at the median income, and revenue of the city, median income, and then you have to look at quality of life, quality of place. We have all three of those growing in the right direction. The fourth is census. If your census is not growing,
Yeah.
your city is regressing. I'm not saying you're dying. Very few cities are dust bowls in the United States because there's so many ways to catch yourself back up and be okay. But if you're not adjusting to your size, you're setting yourself up to hemorrhage. And we don't do that. We don't do things the wrong way. And I think a lot of the cities in this region have finally figured out that we have to do things that create a quality of place that's different than anyone else.
Somebody said, could be said that Rainbow City is not just a brother or a sister, they're somebody's daddy.
I love.
I can't argue.
I don't know who that is. I'm guessing I know them well, but I think that's the thing is that we can talk about Southside. I'm not that guy that believes that we should not act like they've got a very critical election going on over there.
Is that today?
I don't hate anybody. Yeah. I don't hate anybody over there. I have my opinion. And a part of what I say about others is based on long-term friendships, and I have that right. I wore a uniform to defend that right.
Sure.
And and when I hear people say that for me to endorse or like someone else that's running for office, I'm going to tell you a lot. You don't pay me enough for me to lose my rights and be able to say that I'm unethical because I love my friends. If you don't like that,
Loyalty matters.
you had your chance. You had
And
your
people
chance to
can
run
disagree,
against me,
and
and
we
we
can
can,
disagree,
because I don't hate any of these people. Most of them I don't know well. I mean, you're asking me to go out and support somebody that, or not support somebody that I may have not had 5 conversations with. But I do know that, in the case of the current mayor over there, Dana Snyder, I've spent time from the outhouse to the White House with her, and we've worked side by side on projects that are incredibly important, not just to Southside, but to Rainbow City. If we don't develop a open transportation corridor between I-20 and I-59, we will eventually begin to regress. Now, people don't want to hear that because they got that home cooking going, and they think, well, we're a bedroom community and we're just going to keep growing. I'm sorry, y'all, you're not a bedroom community anymore. You're about to have a grocery store. With a grocery store, you're going to get additional services that are going to come in. And if you don't find a place for them, if you don't find a place in Southside soon, and this is a very controversial thing that I'm about to say, if you don't find a place for multifamily homes and dwellings, you've set yourself apart in a way that you're not going to be able to service the services that you want. Everybody can't start out in a $250,000 home.
Yeah.
That's right.
And if you look at the median income of Southside, it's the highest in the county. If you look at the median income or the median cost of homes, Southside is the highest per square foot in the county. Ours is just behind it. And then you can say, well, it's still Southside. But the thing about it is we have more multifamily dwellings than anybody except Gadsden, and we're really, really close to them. So how do you weigh that out? How do you say that our property value is up there like that, and your property is near the same as ours, and yet we're servicing income levels that allow for people to begin to move up in the world? I thought that's what we were supposed to do in the first place.
Makes too much sense.
If somebody starts out in an apartment, we want to see them in an apartment, in an entry-level home, in a bigger home, down on the river. And that progressive economic development for a family is critical, because that's when we get a chance to keep fathers in homes and break the cycle.
That's right.
So that's good preaching.
You darn right it is.
I look for the offering place.
Son,
Yeah, where is
you
it?
think I want to use that?
Oh, please.
Somebody,
That thing's gonna show up.
Yeah.
you darn right it will.
Yeah.
We'll send you the
We'll
clip.
send you the
Yeah.
clip up.
Somebody said, if Rainbow City had an official theme song, what would it be?
DJ Khaled, all we do is win. No
That's
matter
good
what.
stuff. See?
Look, Shelby McNutt says, hey, you can get on it right here, Jeff. He
Okay.
said, every time we have anything to do with sports, we spend loads of money at the Mavericks.
What y'all buying at the Mavericks?
Well, you, Chuck? A city councilman, I will not name his name,
Okay.
in a pretty prominent city says, Rainbow City Inns and Suites.
We don't have lodging.
I got a guy though.
We don't have lodging, and I'm telling you, because of that, the city of Gadsden should be in love with us.
Yes.
The city of Talla, and Larry is that. Larry loves Joe, and I love Larry, but I can tell you they should love us
I'm
because
making a shirt.
we have travel ball, we have soccer, we have all that, and we fill their hotel rooms
Yeah.
continuously.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, that's not going to last much longer.
Jennifer Fuller said thank you.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But I mean, and that's the thing about it. But I'm not, and I'll say this out loud. I'm not out just beating the bushes for a hotel. A hotel will find us when it's time.
Joe, I got a guy.
Do you really? Okay. But that's our thing right now is that we're going to do the things well that makes the tide rise for all of our ships, and Gadsden, Attala, Glencoe, Oaks Bluff, all of them. I think there's 11 municipalities here, and we're holding hands with them whether they hold ours or not. A lot of people I'm just running around holding them by the wrist. But if that's what it takes until we can hold hands, I'm okay with that.
Oh my gosh.
It's just the way it is. But I think the reluctance to cooperation in government, has now become so personal. I mean,
Sure.
Social media has made it where, if I say that Jeff has a nice cap, that means that I hate you.
Sure.
That's not true. I mean, it just means that he's got a nicer cap than what you've got. Even though you're fronting Coosa, and I'm all about Coosa.
That hat was
But-
more expensive.
BDS.
There's no doubt.
Bob the Sports.
Yeah.
Mine was free.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gustav.
Yeah, the way to go, Chris. No, and I think that's the other thing is
It is.
we have a super large Christian school here, private school,
Oh.
and yet I support Coosa Christian.
Sure you do.
Darn right.
They're sitting on the edge of our boundary.
That back
And-
property is Rainbow City.
That's right. Yeah, you cross that creek, you're in Rainbow City, and I believe that if I don't support them, I don't know what I'm made of. Quite honestly, I would question my own integrity. But I used to be on that board of education.
Yeah.
I take a little bit of credit, and it's not a lot. But there was a time when that school wasn't doing well, and I was in the place to be able to help with making decisions that set that thing back on its current trajectory, and I think it's a good one.
Well, we're excited that Coosa is going to be recognizing Joe Taylor in the
No,
West
that's
End
good.
game.
Yeah.
It's been pretty awesome. That game has been moved to a Thursday night,
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
just so you could make it.
That'll make it in some of my schedule.
Just get to make
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So you're welcome.
We do whatever we can for the mayor,
I appreciate that. No, I've got a lot of friends at Coosa Christian.
including Jackie Paul Johnson.
Yeah.
Boy, Jackie Paul will tell you I'm his friend
If he'll ever call you back.
if he'll call you back. But
Can't look. We can you put an elevator in the back of that booth so he'll come see us again?
dude, look, he'll sit there and talk about that bad back and how he can't do this, that, and the other. But he'll go down to that game and stand for 4 hours.
Boy, he will.
All I know,
Now, come on, Jackie.
all I know, every time I see Amanda, she's smiling.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you something. They've tethered Jackie Paul and Coach Mark O'Brien together.
So they got to go in the same place.
That's
That's awesome.
a whole
It's like a
different
child
show.
leash at the
That's a whole
ball.
different show. Hey, before we get out of here, let's talk about high school football. You were at the Piedmont Westbrook
I was.
game, and from everything I've seen and people I've talked to, the game was far more close than that score indicated.
Absolutely. Well, and I'll say this: Westbrook's a talented team. You don't really know until they see big talent. And look, Piedmont is still Piedmont.
Sure.
They're going to always show up. They've got incredible position players. Their
That was incredible.
secondary is, man, it's so good.
Yeah.
That little
Yeah.
quarterback is a different kind of athlete, and you don't see a lot of phenoms. I wish he was if he was 4 inches taller, he'd see the NFL. Now, it may still. I'm not saying he can't, but if you look at what Westbrook's doing, I saw Coach Smith yesterday, and he was at Jefferson's, and you know, he was pleased with that team's performance, and he should be.
Yeah.
You're right. The score wasn't indicative of the effort.
Yeah.
But his team put out, and they put out the whole time. And, you know, to the point of getting me in a little bit of trouble, you know, where I'm popping off. And look, at the end of the day, I think everybody expects me to show up and be some reverent, you know, sports silly heart, but I'm not that way. When I'm watching sports, I don't care who's on the side of what play. If it's a great play, I'm going to scream. I can't stand it.
Would the real Joe Taylor please stand
He
up?
will, and he stood up, and of course I was with Mike Prater, our SRO for Westbrook, and Mike and I, when we heard the police chief Camp Yancey, he actually reached over and said, "Mayor, you okay?" And he said, and I went, "What is it?" And he said, "I hadn't seen you this way." I said, "You hadn't been at the ball, you know, at the ball field with me."
Thank God you wasn't at the Auburn game.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
oh my
Danny
gosh.
Starr says America's mayor.
Thank you, Danny. Danny's
Good
a good one.
dude.
He's
Yeah,
Good
he
guy,
is.
man. I'm telling you, I think Danny's probably one of the most intuitive people that I deal with. Danny's on our NPO board and goes to it's the civilian side of our Metropolitan Transit transportation group, and Danny he cares about the way things are happening countywide, and he's not just a Rainbow City guy, even though there's no doubt he loves his home cooking.
I think he'll fist fight you, Ray.
Yeah,
I believe that.
He will.
Yeah, I
Good
love
dude.
Danny.
Anything in closing before we get out of here?
No, Aldi has a grand opening
25th, right?
the 25th. We need people to show up. It's just an opportunity for us to support the people that are coming. You know, they're opening up in Rainbow City. It's
That new manager is very excited to be in Rainbow City.
Very,
His name is
yeah.
Dakota. He's very excited to be. He's a
went
little
by
bit scared.
Yeah, a little scared. He's gonna be all right though. We're just gonna fill your store up, take all your stuff. That's
Quickly.
isn't that the whole game?
Quickly.
But you know, we've got that coming. This, which is absolutely amazing. You know, our contractor Game Day has put Vivian Maddox, our Cloverleaf, is going to play baseball Saturday.
Wow.
And we have a tournament that's coming in, and that's happened since July.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And we've
Yeah.
converted. That's new turf surface.
That's crazy.
That's all the curbing that comes with it. New fencing and new nets, concrete backstops. I mean, I will say this: our Parks and Recreation Director Philip Hollingsworth, with Daniel Ruggiero and their team at Game Day, and myself, we put together that old school park again,
Heck yeah.
and it's going to look insane.
Ain't no daggone fescue.
No, sir. We ain't dealing in fescue, man. We're over there on cool turf, and that's the only way we're going to roll. But yeah, we spent the money to keep the kids cooler
Heck yeah.
by going with a little bit more technology in our turf, and with the aggregates that go on our turf. When you walk out there, it feels like a real field.
You don't realize how hot turf is.
Yeah, and see, this turf has some technology in it that's going to cool that down about 10 or 12 degrees, and which is going to put it really, really close to what natural grass is. And it doesn't have any, there's no smell, there's no off gas, there's nothing like that. So
Depends on who you play.
yeah, our kids are protected, and I'm telling you that we're about to put them in some facilities that they've not seen. Pioneer Field finished their turf yesterday. They're doing some anchoring and tying down, and they'll put up some nets and stuff. And we've got some remodeling to do on our concession stands, and that's going to continue to roll out. We thought this project would last about 5.5, 6 months, and that's what it's going to take. But just understand, when you go down there, you'll see, you may see a little dirt, you may see a little bit of cleaning up that needs to be done. But we met our deadline to guarantee that our kids are going to get to play their fall season.
So I said, be sure to bring your quarters for all these buggies.
Yeah, get
Sure.
your buggy
Get
quarter
your
ready.
buggy. Did you put Randy Weiss or City Councilman Randy Weiss over the concession? I think it'd be a good idea.
No, it's not a good idea.
Well, it's going to be high quality.
Yeah, it'll be
you
high
may lose some
quality.
profit.
Joe's talking about profit.
yeah, profit the laws rep. Yeah,
But
we still
the
have
menu will be fantastic.
It would be
His
great.
P&L would look terrible.
Terrible. That's right. No, but we're ready to go. I mean, I think that this has been you know, it's hard to find a way to convert all of your fields, and we're converting every field we have to artificial turf except Rainbow Middle School's football field, and that's because that group loved turf, and I do love that for football, and the amount of usage it gives the field a chance to recover, but we need to practice and play, and then also our soccer fields, which are bar none some of the best in the state and probably in the South. They're flat as a tabletop, which is what soccer people love. They don't want to love up, you know, they don't want to climb uphill to get to the center of the field.
No crown like
No crown,
a couple of
buddy.
football fields.
Yeah.
Good grief.
So we're
Lastly, forget to heard you.
No, go ahead.
I'd be totally remiss if we didn't talk about and give props. I don't like giving a lot of props on the show. It's not
Okay.
what I'm about.
Okay.
But Andy
oh,
does
man.
such a great job at this market.
Yeah,
And he works
yeah.
his tail off for
And
that.
I think that's one of those things that just was birthed out of. Quite honestly, I put him on the spot. There's no doubt. He rolled his window down one day, and I said, "Hey man, would you take this market and do something with it?" And he said, "Sure." He's our licensed inspector.
Yeah.
You know, he goes around. He's our revenue officer, and yet he took this thing on, and Andy has turned that into. You know, for the lack of a better term, he's turned that into church.
Yeah.
That's a place where we get to reach out and touch our community and care for people, find out when people have troubles or heartache even,
Yeah.
and get a chance to, and those guys stand around, start their day with prayer, and he's just doing a different deal.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. I don't know where it came from, but I think it has to do with the fact that Andy has a heart for people. He is a before he's a revenue officer, and this is going to be hard for the people that he's caught without licensure. It's going to be hard for them to understand this. Before he's any of those things, he's a minister, and he loves people.
Yeah, you can tell that. Tell that for sure. All right, Mayor. We appreciate it. Welcome back.
Yeah. Hey man, it's good to be back.
I mean, darn.
Spent some time in DC.
Brett's comment.
Yeah.
He's always coming in late,
Yeah.
though. He says, Almighty, that's a good looking man.
Yeah.
I am straight married man, Joe.
I understand that, Brett.
He wanted you to be.
Yeah. Dude's a wild guy, man.
That's awesome. Hey, we'll tell you about the outfit. We'll tell you about the outfit you wore in here the other day, Brett.
Yeah.
Wrong one.
No, this
yeah.
last one was, Brett Tyler.
Yeah,
Brett
Smith.
Tyler
Yeah,
Smith.
yeah.
Not the little one.
Not Davis.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. I did not read the comment.
And Brett Tyler Smith just felt good about himself when you said not the little one.
Yeah, not the little one.
Dude, have you seen his videos?
Yes, cracks me up.
I'm
He's
dying.
hilarious, man.
I'm dying.
Yes.
The gym one? The one in the-
Yes. The one you're on the treadmill.
Yeah.
So good.
My favorite of all time right now. So keep them
Dude's
coming.
hilarious, man.
Keep them coming. He is freaking awesome. All
That's
right,
all I
Mayor.
got.
Thank